Nathan, 3-0 defeat here at Stoke City. Your thoughts on disappointing performance and result?
Well, I'm bitterly disappointed. I thought we were inept in every single department today. We lost every single individual battle. We showed no fight, no spirit, no desire to win a game, and that's surprising me because we've usually got plenty of that. But to come into this game today in where we were, it's come out of absolutely nowhere, and I said I'm not so much embarrassed. I'm just really shocked by the ineptitude of the performance. People that we call leaders, people think that were miles off today, and looked weak in terms of not weak physically, but weak in their desire to do well. And I'm really surprised and bitterly disappointed. You know what I mean? On every level.
I mean, as you say, it's come a bit out of the blue. I mean, obviously disappointment in the week, losing at home, but you expect a bit of reaction. You expect something to come from that, don't you?
Well, we haven't done the basics right in both games. You know, really haven't done the basics right. If we don't do the basics right, then we're in trouble, because we have to do those right, because we're not the most talented group in terms of championship status, and in terms of that, we haven't got the more quality than others. And you look at them today; they got huge amount of quality, but they showed more application, they showed more desire, they showed more fight, and that's what I'm really puzzled and really disappointed, because you know, there's been games I come in and I've said I feel physically sick when we lost to Blackburn because we didn't deserve to. We were brilliant, but today we were miles off it, and that's a performance I just didn't see coming. And every single player, to a man, lost his battle today.
You had to make you made four changes today. Two of them, obviously, we realised were forced with Matty Pearson and Tom Lockyer missing out. But your thoughts on obviously a back three today with the wing backs to start the game? Well,
it wasn't so much a back three. It was to cope with those and then to be able to build into the game, because we know if we go, you know, man for man with them, we're not better than them man for man. You look at Joe Allen, you look at Stephen Fletcher, you're looking at Nick Powell. These are players that are, you know, fantastic, you know what I mean, in terms of for the level. So we knew that we had to be something a little bit different, but after the big error for the first goal, we didn't, then we matched them up a little bit. Second half came out with a real bit of fight, real bit of desire, but without real punch and things. And then we just wilted. And to be fair, I'm just the amount that we lost with people that were miles off it. People I expect to be better, leaders within the team, were nowhere near today, and that's the thing that's puzzled me and thing I'm really disappointed about, because we'll have some tough decisions to make on those, because those people we want them to go further, to go on, but they're going backwards at the minute, and that's what we can't have.
There was some errors, weren't there, in today's game, and there was the disappointment in the overall. Too many players, it seemed to be, on one occasion.
Every player, not too many, every player. I mean, I can exempt Sluga a little bit because he's not much he could have done, but the others, to a man, were miles off it. Were out-battled, outworked, outgrafted, out-thought. You know, first off, for 35 minutes, we gave the ball back to them pretty much every time. Tried to play one touch. We had midfield players that couldn't keep the ball. We had back four players that didn't defend well enough, didn't get on the ball. And then there's a massive error for the first goal, which is always massive. I mean, you know, we're diving in. It's a big error from Sonny, and that's what costs you a game. You've got to do the basics well in teams like this, but we didn't, and we got exactly what we deserved, because 3-0 didn't flatten them.
And the second half goals as well. I mean, the header was wanting the ball more, and then an error leading them to a similar opportunity for the third.
I signed Nick Powell at this football club, and I signed him for his technical, but I didn't sign him for his aggression on the back post. But he showed 10 times more aggression than James Bree did today, and that's a learning curve. For me as a right back, he doesn't go up, doesn't get fouled, looking for the foul, but that's what us today. We were looking for the referee or someone to bail us out. They were looking for me to give them the drive and the enthusiasm, and they didn't generate that themselves. Not any single human being on that pitch today in a Luton Town shirt generated any enthusiasm. When the subs came on, Joe Morrell was excellent when he came on, but what can you do when the rest of them are as inept as that?
The big question now, obviously, there's plenty of games back to back coming up over the next few weeks. We're playing on Tuesday night. How do things change so quickly between now and then? Well,
they've changed quickly from the performance levels of today. They have to go full circle again, you know. But because that wasn't a Luton Town performance today, and what we have to make sure is that doesn't get repeated, because you know that's what we can't afford. Because today we were nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near the levels we need to be a championship side. And we say about looking forward and so on. We have to make sure that we're doing the basics right. And today we didn't. And I'm not embarrassed. I'm shocked and surprised because my teams don't do that.